Okay, so I'm going to talk through the C2 January 2013 paper. I'm going to be working pretty quick, so the best practice, have a look at the question, print it off, you've got it attached to this video as well. Pause the video, attempt the question first, and then play the video to see if you're right, okay? You don't need to watch all the explanation unless, of course, you didn't get the right answer. You need to try and work out where you went wrong, okay? So, first question, trapezium rule, 5 ordinates, that means it has 4 strips, which is going to be very important to work out the value of h. H is the limits of the integrals of 2 take away 0 divided by the number of strips. So in this case, h equals 0.5. Now, if you write it on your mark scheme there, or your questions there, make sure you write it here as well, because that is worth a mark straight away. So h equals 0.5, very important to write in. The way that I've taught us to be going through this now is we press mode 3, put it into table mode. It says f of x equals, and you make it look like that. So you want to say square root of 10 minus, and then we say alpha bracket to get x in, and then cubed, and we just press equals. Start is always the lower limit, so that's 0. End is always the upper limit, so that's 2. Step is h, so that's 0.5. Okay, and then I've worked out all those values on for the trapezium rule. So we start with x0, x1, x2, x3, and x4 is equal to, now you should be able to put those in without even looking at the table. Your x0 is the start of the integral, so that was 0, and your x4 should be the end of the integral, which was 2, and then we're going up in h's, so 0.5, 1, 1.5. And then y0, y1, y2, y3, and y4 are as follows. I need to round it. Now it says the final question, round your answer to 4dp. So at the moment we work 2 more decimal places, so we're working to 60p. So we are going to get 3.162277. Now you just cut off after the 6th decimal place. So really we know that round that to an 8. But using this method you just cut off after the 6th place. This is 3.14245 and then 1. And then this one is just 3, that's nice. This one is 2.573907. And then this last one here is 1.414213. Okay, and then I'll be using the formula booklet to write in my formula for trapezium rule. I know it is h over 2, so that's 0.5 over 2. And then the first plus the last term, so it's going to be 3.16 blah, 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 plus the last term, which is 1.41 blah, 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 plus 2 lots of everything in the middle. So 3.1 blah, 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 plus 3, plus 2.57 blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's just going into my calculator. Then I'll round that to 4 decimal places, sorry. Right, 1 second, I'm having a bit of difficulty with the camera here. There we go, right. Okay, now the most easy mistake to make with this now is actually to put this into your calculator wrong. So take your time with this. So come out of table mode, so you say mode 1, mode comp, and then 0.5 divided by 2 I know is 0.25, so I'm just going to cut a corner and put that in there. And then 3.16, so I need to look up here now, which is, there we go, 3.162277 plus the last term, so 1.414. 213 plus 2 lots of everything in the middle, so 3.1142451 plus 3 plus 2.5733907. Close the brackets, press equals, and I get the following answer. I get 5.502. and then 3 to 4 decimal places. Now, I haven't got a mark scheme for this. I'm just working as if I'm doing the paper. I've not seen this paper for ages. I've done it before, but like not for a couple of years. If it's wrong, it's wrong. How many marks I'm going to lose? Well, I can tell you now, only 1 if I have got it wrong, because this method is correct, this method is correct, subbed it into the formula, and I worked out h. The only chance of me losing is that mark there if I didn't put it into the calculator incorrectly. If I had time at the end of the exam, I'll put it back in and check I got exactly the same answer again. Okay, question 2 says 7 sine squared theta minus sine theta is equal to 3 cos squared theta. Now, the thing we are interested in here, more than anything else, is the non-quadratic term. That is this term here. Now, that tells me everything must be what that is. So sine, that's already in sine. that sign, that needs to change. So the two formulas that we are expecting to use tomorrow are cos squared theta plus sine squared theta equals 1. And the second one we're expecting to use is sine theta divided by cos theta is equal to tan theta. Okay, I expect both of those to come up in this paper. They may not both come up, but I expect certainly one of them to come up. So I need to change this cos squared theta, and what I'm going to do is rearrange that to say cos squared theta is equal to 1 minus sine squared theta. So I get 7 sine squared theta minus sine theta is equal to 3 brackets 1 minus sine squared theta. I'm then going to expand that bracket, and then I'm going to bring everything all onto one side. So I'm going to get 3 minus 3 sine squared theta. I'm then going to say that's 10 sine squared theta minus sine theta, and then I'm going to bring this 3 over, so it'd be minus 3 equals 0. What I'm going to do next is do a method that we've been using to make it a bit more familiar to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let sine theta x. So we would then get 10x squared minus x minus 3. I know how to factorise that pretty quick. I'm going to use our method for factorising, which is doing 10 times minus 3, which is minus 30. Here, so minus 1, r plus 5, 6. So that would be 10x plus 5 and 10x minus 6 equals 0. But then if I use this method, this line's not strictly correct. I must cancel down. So I get 2x plus 1, get 5x minus 3 equals 0. So x is equal to minus a half. And let me write that a bit neater. Minus a half. And then or to 3/5. But now I come back to that and change it back. So I'll say sine theta half or theta. Now I'm using the Tomcats method here for this one first, and then for the other one second. So all silly Tomcats, cats. Let me do this one first. It's a bit more easy. It's 3/5. So what I do is I take sine and do sine to the minus 1 of 3. My answers, because this is positive, I go through all because it's positive, and sine because it's sine. So sine to the minus 1 of 3/5. Make sure you're in degrees mode for this. That is 36.9 degrees. And that means it's got a mirror image here of 36.9 degrees. So my answers for theta for this one, we treat this as 0/360, we treat this as 180, and then I'm doing 0 plus 36.9, so that's one of my answers. And the other answer would be 180 minus that answer. So 180 minus 36.9 comes to 143.1. Okay, the other answer here is 1 of, now why don't we do minus a half instead of sine because it's sine. I do the mirror image because it's negative. Okay, that's my shortcut to this. So I do sine to the minus 1 of, not minus a half, just a half, or 1 divided by 2, and that comes to 30. So my solutions this time are theta equals 330 degrees. Okay then, question 2b. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work out the range of what answers I've got. So it's said that answers between 0 is less than 180. That's what it means when it says 80. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write out my question, but I'm going to leave a couple of lines. It says tan brackets 3x minus 20.28. Okay, so x there, this is an x, this is 3x minus 20. So what I need to do is triple everything. What's triple of 0? X is 3x. Triple of 180 is 580, but use a calculator. So I've now got 20. Minus 20 is less than 580. Now that answer there, when I take tan over to the other side, I'm looking for answers that go down to minus 20 and up to 520. Anything outside that range I'm not interested in. So brackets here, but I've written them, so I'm going to leave them. So I'm going to do tan to the minus 1 of 1.28. So 3x minus 20 is equal to, and I'm going to do all silly Tomcats by here. So I'm doing tan, all in tan, and I'm going to do tan to the minus 1 of 1.28. And that comes out to being like dead on 52 degrees, okay? So I would say that's 52 there, and that's 52 there. So my obvious solutions are 52 degrees and then 180 plus 52, so what's that, 232? But if you wanted to check, just to say answer plus 180, 232, okay? But it doesn't go up to 520, it doesn't come down to minus 20. The period of tan, how often it repeats itself, is every 180 degrees. So what I need to do is just keep on adding 180 degrees to the final answer. So if I press equals there, I get another answer of 412. And then if I press equals again, it just automatically adds 180, which I get 592. Now that is past the 520, so I'm not interested in that one. Similarly, if I come down this way, I take away 180. So 52 take away 180. 52 take away 180 gives an answer of minus 128. So I also have minus 128 there. But that's past minus 20, so I'm not interested in that one either. Okay, then, so to find my final solutions, I'm now going to add 20 to each of these. So I get 3x is equal to 72 degrees, 252 degrees, and 432 degrees. And then finally, I divide each of them by 3. I think I know the first one's 24, but I'll double check. 72 divided by 3 is indeed 24. 252 divided by 3 is 84. And finally, 432 divided by 3 is 144. My solutions. Very easy way to check this. Pick any one of those. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to pick 84. I'm going to chuck in 84 into that. So I'm going to say tan times 84, close brackets, minus 20. There we go. Press equals, and I get 1.28 to 2 decimal places, and that's exactly what I should have had. Okay, so that's a massive confidence boost, thinking, yeah, that's fine, I can do 4 marks. I know those are correct, and I could have done the same with what I had before for my values of theta, okay? Maybe something to do if you're twiddling your thumbs at the end of the exam, you have nothing to do. Okay, and question 3. I have this triangle. This triangle is alpha, and I'm told this is 10 centimeters, this is x centimeters, x plus 4 centimeters. Angle B, little c, that's little a, and that's little b. And that cos alpha is equal to 3/5. Okay, so that's going to be a hint, but it says write down and simplify an equation satisfied by x, hence evaluate the value of x. Okay, now I can see here, without even looking and reading the question, that I have 3 sides and 1 angle. So that is telling me 3 sides means use the cosine rule. Okay, if it was 2 sides and 2 angles, I would use the sine rule. Okay, but that's what that's telling me. So I know it's going to be the cosine rule. Now, I'm used to seeing cosine rule as little a squared is equal to little b squared plus little c squared minus 2bc, and then cos capital A. But I don't have capital A, I have capital B. So I'm going to rearrange the formula for that. So instead of saying little a squared, I'm going to say little b squared equals, and I'll show you what I'm writing here. Little b squared equals there. Now that means it's got to be cos of capital B at the end there. That means I'm going to have little a squared and little c squared minus 2ac there. X squared is equal to a squared, which is x plus 4 squared, plus c squared, which is 10 squared, minus 2 lots of x plus 4 times by 10. Now cos b, I'm actually told that cos alpha, that's what we've got here, cos alpha, cos b is the same thing. I know that's the same as writing 3/5, so I just sub in 3/5 into that. So I'm going to get x squared equals, expand that, that really means x plus 4 times by itself. Okay, so expand it like that if you need to, but you should know it's x squared plus 8x plus 16 plus 100. Now this bit here, I stick all the number values into my calculator. It's going to be minus because it's a minus there. And I'm going to say 2 times, I'm ignoring the x plus 4 because that's algebra, I can't do it, but I can say 2 times 10 times by 3/5. And that comes to answer 12, so it's going to be minus 12 in front of that bracket, and then x plus 4 there. I'm then going to start simplifying. I'm going to take the x squared over to this side and get 0, and I'm going to get 8x plus 116 from the 16 plus 100 there, and then minus 12x, and then I'm going to get minus 48. 8x minus 12x is minus 4x. Take that over to the other side, I get 4x, and then 116 minus 48, put it into your calculator, is 68. So x is equal to 17, okay? From there, it then says find the value of, find the exact value of the area ABC, of the triangle ABC. Now, we're going to use the formula a half AB sine C, but I haven't got sine C. I have B. So I'm going to have a half. So if it's sine B there, I've got to have all three letters in it. So this must be A and C. So that's always the two lines that fit the angle, that meet at the angle. So the 10, and then x plus 4, which in our case is going to be 11 plus 17 plus 4, which is 21. Okay, now this angle here, I don't know in terms of sine. I know it in terms of cos. And you should know this from your mechanics, and I've done this with you in lessons. We know that's a Pythagorean triple, so you treat it as a right angle triangle there, alpha there. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that would be 3 over 5, so this must be 4, okay? So if I know sine alpha, if I know cos alpha is 3/5, sine alpha is 4/5, okay? I'm not going into that, you should know that, and if you don't, you look through your notes, you've done loads of them. So, part B, area is going to be a half, and we said it's going to be times by 10, times by 21, times by 4/5 from the work I did on the other page. So then put that into your calculator, and I think it gives an answer of 84 centimeters squared. Let's check. 0.5 times by 10 times by 21 is 84 exactly. So there we go. There's your marks there. Okay, then, next question. Pretty sure I'm not going to ask you to do this sort of question because something very similar came up in the summer paper. So, you know, the proof from first principles. So that's just our story that looked about Gauss. Add the numbers from 1 to 100, and he turns around and says 5,050. How? Well, he added them, added another list back to front, found out it was 101 times 100, half. Okay? So, for part A, I need to see this question, so I will do it, just in case it comes up. So it says that the first term of an arithmetic series, so we call the first term 1, the common difference is 4. Look into your formula booklet, you will find that the formula for the nth term is un is equal to a plus n minus 1d. I know that a is 1, I know that d is 4, so I'm going to bring that d round to the front where I'm more accustomed to see it, and I know that's 1 there. That's not the best one, I'm going to write that out again. 1 plus 4 n minus 1 there. I'm then going to expand that bracket, so I'm going to get 1 plus 4n minus 4, and then I'm going to write the n bit first, and then that would be minus 3. That's what it had there. Okay, that's how you prove it. Part 2, it says the sum of the first n terms is given by this. Proof from first principles that it's that. Okay, so we say Sn is equal to 1 plus 5 plus ... plus 4n minus 7, 4n minus 3. Okay, now what Gauss did was he got exactly the same thing, but he wrote it in. So he wrote out minus 3 plus 4n minus 7 plus ... plus 5 plus ... 1. Okay, then he added these two together. So we've got two lots of Sn is equal to 1 plus 4n minus 3. So that becomes 4n minus 2 plus 4n minus 7 plus 5. That is also 4n minus 2 plus ... plus, and they're always 4n minus 2 plus 4n minus 2. Well, how many lots are there? Well, there's the first term, second term, this is the nth term. So a quicker way to say that is 2Sn is equal to n times 4n minus 2. And then if I take the n, if I take the 2 over to the other side, I get n times by 4n minus 2 all over 2. Look at what they had here. Can we spot any similarities? Yeah, I've got that. But look, 4n minus 2 times it, they just divide the 2 into that. So Sn is equal to n bracket 2n minus 1 as required. Okay, so that's how you prove it from first principles. The next part says, part B, now this is definitely coming up this type of question. It says the sum of the first 10 terms, so you write this in arithmetic, so sum of the first 10 terms is 55. So I say S10 is equal to 55, but in a minute I'm going to do some subbing into that. It tells me the sum of the 4th and 7th and 9th terms, so that's U4 plus U7 plus U9 is equal to 27. So this is going to be, now this is me using from the formula booklet, the formula, okay? Now I know it, so I'm sort of cheating, just subbing straight into it, but you should be looking at the formula booklet if you're unsure. So it's n over 2, 2a, n is 10, so it's going to be 9d is equal to 55. Now 10 divided by 2 is 5, isn't it? You know that, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I'm going to bring this times by 5 over here and divide by 5 to get 2a plus 9d is equal to 11. And that's my first equation. Arithmetics, I know that it's going to be a plus 3d, a plus 6d, and a plus 8d is equal to 27. I'm then going to get 3a, and then I'm going to get plus 17d is equal to 27. And that's my second equation. Now, it makes sense to me to get the a's the same. So I get two new equations, 3 and 4. And then I'll just do this in a GCSE manner. So times that by 3, times that by 2. That gives me 6a plus 27d is equal to 33. And this is going to give me 6a plus 34d is equal to 54. I'm then going to do 4, take away 3 because that has the larger d's. So that is going to give me 7d, and then 54 minus 33 is 21. So d is equal to 3. Okay, if d is equal to 3, sub d equals 3, I'll make that more like a d equals 3 in 1. So I'm going to get 2a plus 9 lots of 3 is equal to 11. So 2a is equal to 11 minus 27, so that is what, minus 16. So a is equal to minus 8. Again, use a calculator. I'm doing things really quickly. That's because it's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night, and I've not had a break from work all day. You need to make sure that you're certain doing that in the exam tomorrow. Okay, so slow it down. Don't go as quick as I'm going. It then says find the first term of the common difference. Yeah, I've done that, and that's worth 5 marks. Okay, so that's the first page done. Question 5a. Now this looks hard, and it looks a lot harder than it actually is. It says the pth term of a series is 16. So I'm going to write that as up is equal to 16. It says the p plus 1th term is 24. So that's up plus 1 is 24. Find the p plus 4th term of the series. So up plus 2, up plus 3, up plus 4. I need to find that one there. So what I need to do is find out the ratio, because it says it's a geometric series. So to find that out, I do 24, the term before divided by the last term. So divide that by 16. Is 1.5. I've times that by 1.5. That just means I need to continually times by 1.5, times by 1.5, and then times that by 1.5, and I'll get my answer. So I do 24. In fact, yeah, 24 equals. Now I'm going to press answer times by 1.5, but by all means don't take the shortcut if you're not sure what I'm doing. Press equals, so I get 36. Press equals again, I get 54. And then press equals again, I get 81. So there's my answer. Okay, so that is 3 marks, took me 3 seconds. For part B, it says the first 3 terms of another geometric series is 22.8. Now, I'm going to say here 5b. So it says the sum of the first 3 terms. I'm going to write that as u1 plus u2 plus u3 equals 22.8. But you could use the sum formula there, but I think this will be more simple. That's my gut feeling. I might be wrong. And I'm going to write that as a plus ar squared equals 22.8. Okay, what else am I told? It says the sum to infinity of another series. So S infinity, that is A over 1 minus R, is equal to 18.75. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and write down the right answer for one, 18.75. I'm going to bring round this 18.75 here. I'm going to bring round this 1 minus R in a bracket because that's together there. So I'm going to take it over here. So I know that A is equal to 18.75. And then 1 minus r, that bracket, so minus 18.75 there. Now, that is equation 1, that is equation 2. What I don't want to do, I don't want to sub that in repeatedly, so it's going to be a pain to try and work out anything here. Is I'm going to factorize number 1. So number 1, I'm going to a bracket 1 plus r squared. Close brackets is equal to 22.8. I'm in here that a is 18 times by minus 18.75r. So I'm going to get 18.75 minus, let me show you what I'm doing. 18.75 minus 18.75r. That's from expanding that bracket out by here. And then I'm going to put 1 plus r squared there. And I feel like I'm not doing efficient way. There's got to be a quicker way to this, because then I'm going to expand all of these bits out, and then I'm going to get some r's and some r cubed. There's got to be a better way. So let's think about what the better way is. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to stick with this for the moment because at the moment it's escaping me, okay? So I'm going to times 18.75 by all of these. So I'm going to get 18.5 plus 18.75 18.75r plus 18. I'm then going to get times all of that by minus 18.75r. So I'm going to get minus 18.75r, minus 18.75r squared, and minus 18.75r cubed is equal to 22.8. Now, there's some nice things cancelling here. Plus 18.75r, and then minus 18.75r. That cancels there and there. 18.75r squared minus 18.75, so that cancels there. That leaves me with 18.75 here. That's going to go over to the other side. So I'm going to get minus 18.75r cubed from here. That's still there. And then 22.8 minus 18.75. That gives me minus 18.75r cubed equals 22.8 minus that 18.75. So that gives me an answer of 4.05. I'm now going to take over the minus 18.75 to answer that. So I'm going to say divided by 18.75. And I'm a bit relieved with that answer, if I'm being honest. It's going to be a minus, which is 27 over 125. And the reason why I say I'm relieved with that is that they're both cube numbers. That's r cubed. So I'm going to take over that as a cube root. And then I'm going to cube root that answer, so I know it'll be a minus. And then cube root of that. Answer is 3 over 5. That wasn't easy, okay, that was fussy, all right. There may be a simpler way. Have a look at the mark scheme. That's not r cubed anymore, that's r. There may be a simpler way than that, and certainly don't leave your answer looking like that. That's really messy. So r is equal to 3/5, minus 3/5, isn't it? Minus 3/5. That's a better way to put your answer at the end. I mean, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do. It was a pain doing that, but it was doable. There may be a nicer answer than that, but other people doing it, okay? Okay, question 6. Oh, did I do everything you wanted to do? So find the common ratio and the first term. I haven't done everything they wanted me to do. So I need to find the first term of the ratio. So I'm just going to sub r equals minus 3/5 into that. So I'm going to get a plus a brackets minus 3/5 plus a minus 3/5 squared equals 22.8. So that's going to be a minus 3/5 a. So that's like 1 take away 3/5. But then I'm going to get plus, because a minus times a minus is plus, and then it'll be 9 over 25. So that's going to equal 19 over 25, which I'm going to get as a decimal, which is 0.76a is equal to 22.8. And then a would be equal to 22.8 divided by that answer, which is 30. So, you know, that's a pretty good indication that I've done everything correct. Okay, so a equals 30 there. Okay, question 6, part A. Now, this one's easy. You just have to take it out of this silly form here. What you need it in indice form. So you need it as 5x to the minus 4 minus 7x to the 2/3 dx. Now you integrate it. Do not forget your plus c. I'm going to write it in straight away. It's too easy to forget. Power up by 1, so it becomes minus 3, divide by the new power. Power up by 1, so that becomes 5/3, divide by the new power, 5/3. Technically, that's enough for your marks, okay? You can neaten that out to make it look a bit nicer, which is minus, I'd leave that as minus 3 up there, and then it's going to be minus, if you do 7 divided by 5/3, you can put that into your calculator if you want, 7 divided by 5/3. Not the best way to write it into your calculator, but it will certainly work, is 21 over 5. When you divide by a fraction, you times by its reciprocal, so that's why we get 21, so we times by the 3, and then it'd be x to the 5/3 over not 3, 5. If I looked at my calculator, I know it's 5. And then don't forget the plus c. Okay, now part B, you've got to understand how to work out that shaded area. And that shaded area is clearly the area of this triangle that I can see here, but I want to get rid of this area under the curve. That means I need to work out this value, and I need to work out this value. They'll probably tell me bits and bobs of that. Now, this curve here is y equals 9 minus x squared. I know there that the value of y is 0. So if I put in 0 there, bring the x squared over, x squared equals 9. That tells you this is minus 3 and this is plus 3. Okay? And then also I know that this value there is 9, because when I put in 0 there for x, y would be equal to 9. Okay, but that's not too important, that one. It's more important I work out q. It says The diagram shows a sketch of the curve y equals 9 minus x, where the point intersects the positive x-axis at the point 0a. Find the value of a. Well, I've done that by there. Okay, and I did that pretty quick. And then it says, the tangent to the curve intersects the y-axis at the point 0b. It says, show that b equals 18. So inadvertently, I know that's 18, but I've got to go and show how I know that's b. Now, this uses so many C1 marks, but you had something come up similar on Wednesday, last Wednesday. So I doubt whether this will be in there, okay? But if you were to do that, what you need to do, you need to differentiate that curve. So dy by dx would equal minus 2x is 3, where it's a tangent. So when x equals 3, dy by dx is equal to minus 2 lots of 3. So that would be minus 6. So the gradient of this line, so I'll call that m, is equal to minus 6. And then to work out the equation of that line, I'm going to say y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And that'll be y. Now where they intersect is 3, 0. That's what the coordinates there are, 3, 0. So it's going to be y minus 0 equals m, so minus 6, x minus 3. So I'm going to get it as y minus, minus 6, x plus 18. And then it intersects at the y-axis there at 18. Sorry, you can't quite see what I'm doing there. That's what it's doing. Okay, so I have proved that now for part B, part 1. And then part 2 even, sorry. And then part 3, it says find the shaded area. Okay, so the shaded area is going to be, it's going to be the area of the triangle, take away the integral of the curve. So let's have a look at the shape here. Take away the curve between here to here. So that is between 0 to 3. So we need those as my limits on there of the curve. Okay, so that triangle has a height of 18. It goes up from 0 to 18, and it goes across from 0 to 3. So that's a distance of 3. So that's going to be base times height divided by 2. So that is 18 times 3 divided by 2. Take away. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to integrate that curve straight away. So I'm going to put my square brackets around there. Look at this formula. I'm integrating that. So it's going to become 9x minus x cubed over 3. And that's going to be 3, 0. 18 times by 3 is 54. Divide that by 2 is 27. It's 27 minus. Now I'm going to put square brackets around here. Take your time with this. If you rush it, you'll mess it up. That's going to be 9 lots of 3 minus 3 cubed over 3 minus, and then we're going to sub in 0 there. Now it's pretty obvious that when I do sub in 0 into that, I'm going to get the answer 0. Okay, so it's just going to be 27 minus, and then it's going to be, that's going to my calculator. There's no way I'm doing that in my head. So 9 brackets 3 minus 3 cubed over 3 equals 18, and then minus, and then if you wanted to sub it in, but 9 times 0 take away nothing divided by 3, you know that is 0. Okay, so then it's going to be 27 minus 18, which is 9, and then you say units squared for a perfect answer. I'm not doing any log proofs today. You should have learned those. They're in the notes if you want to go and those out tonight, go and go through the PowerPoints, okay? But I'm skipping that, I'll hold my tea in a minute. And then part B, it says 6 is 2x to the power of 5 equals 7, okay? We are going to work through our way of doing this through logs. You can take logs on both sides. It's silly, this was much quicker. We're going to take over the x and we're going to work log base 6. So it's 2x to the power of 5 is equal to log base 6 of 7. Now, if I do put log base 6 of 7, where is it? Log base 6 of 7, I get a disgusting answer, okay? I don't want to write that down every time, so I'm going to leave it as log base 6 of 7 until the end. So I'm going to get 2x is equal to log base 6 of 7, but then separately I'm going to have a minus 5 there, and then I'm taking over the 2, so I get log 7 minus 5. So x is equal to, and I'm going to just stick that into my calculator, okay? So I'm going to get, let's do the fraction button there, over 2, but I need to put a minus 5 up here. And I get this answer here, so x is equal to minus 1 point. Now they want this answer to 3 decimal places, so it's 957 to 3dp, but there's a lush way that you can check it. It was 6 to the power of 2x plus 5, so if I do 6 to the power of 2 ants plus 5, guess what my answer should be? It should be 7. If it's not, I've done it wrong. It's 7. I know I'm right. I'm leaving the exam saying, right, I've got those 3 marks. Okay. Over the page then, question 8, questions. What it's saying, what's it telling me to do? So it gives me, find the points of A and the radius C. Determine the point C is -6, 2. Determine whether it lies inside C. Then we have an equation of a line, show that it is the tangent to that, and then the point R has those coordinates there. Okay, so we'll look at 13 lush marks here. Honestly, these are great. So first thing we're going to do is complete the square. So we're going to get x plus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals, now I'm taking over, in the question, I'm taking over the plus 14 to be a minus 14. I'm adding on that square, so I'm adding on 9 and adding on 25. Now I've done that in class, okay, so I'm just saying what I've been doing in class. Don't have to do it that way. You can do whichever way you find easiest, but that's the way I like to do it for speed, okay? But do whatever's easiest for you at this time of the exam. Most of you know how to do that anyway. So plus 9 plus 25, that comes to 20. That gives the centre -3, 5, and the radius is of 20. There's no need to cancel that down. You can if you want. It's not a bad idea to know that's 4 point something. So root of 20 is 4.472, blah, blah, blah. It's not a bad idea to know that. That'll become a bit more obvious in a bit. Part B, it says the point P has the coordinates, so P has the coordinates -6, 2. Okay, now that is its x coordinate, that is its y coordinate. All I need to do is sub those into there and see if it's equal to 20. If it was equal to 20, it would be on the circle. If it was less than 20, it will be inside the circle. And if it's greater than 20, it will be outside the circle. So I'm going to say -6 plus 3 squared, 2 minus 5 squared. That comes to what? -3 squared, which is 9. Plus, and that's also -3 squared, which is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. So we say 18 is less than 20. Therefore, P lies inside C. If it had been 20 equals 20, so this is just a side here, it would have been on C. And if it had been, say, 21 is greater than 20, that would have meant it was outside C. Okay, that's what it would have meant. Okay, so part B, it says the line has this equation here, show that it's a tangent to circle. So what we do is we sub wherever we see a y, we sub it back to x. But I'm actually going to use my work from here to sub it in, so it'll be easier. So I'll do it until it's completed the square form. So that's going to be, it's going to be x plus 3 squared. And instead of saying y minus 5, I've just been told that y is the same as 2x plus 1. So I'm going to say it's 2x plus 1 and then minus 5 squared. And that equals 20. Okay? So I need to do a little bit of neatening up here. -5 plus 1 is -4. Squaring that, I get x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to plus 4x squared. I'm going to get -8x, but I'm going to get that twice. So I'm going to get -16x, and then I'm going to get -4 times -4. So I'm going to get plus 16 is equal to 20. Okay, I know I'm doing this quick. Take your time. You do it. You know how to do these things. I'm not going to go slowly for this. 5x squared, and then I'm going to get plus 6x minus 16 is x. Then plus 9 plus 16 is 25. Take away the 20 from there. It's going to be plus 5 equals 0. That's a really nice answer because I can divide those all by 5. You know, it's giving me confidence that I'm doing the right thing here. X squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. And then I'm going to factorize that to get x minus 1 and x minus 1 equals 0. And that's perfect. Therefore, x has only one solution, which is equal to 1. One solution, therefore, intersects curve at one place, therefore, tangent, as only meets curve in one place. That's the sort of definition you need to write tomorrow. So that proves to me that that is what we want to prove, that TL is the tangent C, and find the coordinates of Q. Now we know what x is, and we know that y is equal to 2x plus 1 from what the question said. So I'll just say when x equals 1, y equals 2 lots of 1 plus 1, so y is equal to 3. So my coordinates of Q would be 1, 3. Okay. Finally, it says the point R has the coordinates 4, 9 and lies on L. Find ARQ. Okay, that's what the question is saying to me. Let's draw the circle. Center was, what was it, center on the page? Its center was -3, 5. -3, 5. Then have this point here, 1, 3. So 1, 3 would be what? Across here and down a bit. Okay, so the tangent would have been like this. Okay, that was L. And then that's what we call the radius. What do we know about a radius meeting a tangent? It makes 90 degrees. And then it's telling me this point, R, is 4, 9. So 4, 9 would be like, so that's 1, 3. 4, 9 would be over more and up higher. So that's what R is. That's 4, 9. Okay, so if I join those up there, I've just made a right angle triangle where that is the hypotenuse. And it wants angle R. That's R. So that's theta. So this must be the opposite, which is the radius. So the radius was root of 20. I just need to work out either the adjacent, so I need to work out from QR, or I need to work out from the center A to R. Doesn't matter which one, and then use SOHCAHTOA. I'm going to work out the hypotenuse. I'm going to say RA is equal to the square root of the difference in Y, so 9 take away 5, which is 4 squared, plus the difference in X's, so X minus -3 is 7 squared. That comes to 16 plus 49, which is root 65. So then because that's root 65, I know the hypotenuse is root 65. So SOHCAHTOA would tell me sine theta is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So that would be root 20 over root 65. And then I would do theta is equal to sine minus 1 of root 20 over root 65. So theta would be equal to, now look at what I've done on my calculator there. Look, it's got one big square root, so I need to get rid of that. That's not right. Okay, so I'll do the fraction button first. Root 20 over root 65 comes to 33.7. Now, I haven't done this question for ages. I don't know if that's right or wrong, okay? I've got a gut feeling it's right because I feel like I've done everything correctly. But I could be wrong here. Check the mark. In terms of what we've got here, if I am wrong there, first of all, how long have I been doing this for? Not that long. Like half an hour or so, maybe 40 minutes. In terms of what I've got there, I'm going to have time to check that again at the end of the exam. Okay? Also, have I shown all my work? Yeah, the only thing you can maybe get me from there, where's 4 and 7 come from? Maybe I could have said, look, it's 9 take away 5 and 4 minus 3. That's probably a better solution there, okay? But I don't. I'm just trying to show you how to do the maths here. In the exam tomorrow, you must study each little bit as you go along, okay? So I've done all of those, so I've got 30 marks now with a bit of luck. And then finally, I've got this question here. Now, I'll probably do this actually on the sheet because I can't be bothered to write the circle. It's the real reason. So let me zoom in a bit more on that. There. Right, there we go. Right, question 9. So it says the area of sector AOB is 43.56 centimeters squared. Find the value of theta. Now, the way that I do this, A to O to B, is that bit there. I tend to say it is theta out of 2 pi, because 2 pi is a full circle, and then I do pi r squared, which is the area of the circle. So that gives me just that bit of the circle, and then that is equal to the area, which I know is 43.56. I then cancel the pi's there, and I know that is theta. R squared, I know what r is. R is 11. We're told here that the radius is 11. Okay, so that'll be r theta times by 11 squared all over 2 equals 43.56. 11 squared is 121, and then divide that by 2 is a rank number. It is 60.5. It's not that bad, I suppose. So then 43.56 is equal to 60.5 theta. So then theta would be equal to 43.56 divided by that answer, which comes to 0.72. Okay, that's sort of what we're expecting for your answers. You know, expecting decimals there. You know, 1 radian is equal to about 56 degree, or 57 degrees, I think. 57.3 rings a bell. Now this bit here, it says the length of the arc BC, so this length here, is 13 centimeters less than the length of the arc CD. So this thing here from D to C. Now, I don't know what this is, so I'm going to call it X. I don't know what this is. I know that it's 13 centimeters less than this one, so I'm going to call it X minus 13. This is a semicircle, so I can work out how many X's, because that would be 180 degrees, but we're working in pi, okay? So pi is equal to 180 degrees. So I know this bit here is part of the circumference. In fact, it is pi out of 300, which is pi out of 2 pi, times by 2 pi r, which would find the full circumference, would be equal to, this length here would be equal to x and the x minus 13, which is 2x minus 13. So what this is going to enable me to do is work out what the value of x is, so then I can work out what the value of phi is here. Now, first things first, 2 pi and 2 pi cancel, giving me pi r. Now remember, I know the radius is 11, so that's going to be 11 pi. I'm going to put the minus 13 over to get plus 13 is equal to 2x, and then 11 pi plus 13 is equal to x. So that's really important. Okay? Now, what I need to do next, I know this bit here, this phi over 2 pi times by 2 pi r would be equal to x minus 13. Yeah? Now, I know what x is. I'm going to put that into my calculator in a second. I need to just cancel that out and cancel that out. R is 11, so I know that 11 phi is equal to x minus 13. So then I need to work out what this x is. I need to then take away 13, and then I need to divide that by 11. So let's start off. Fraction button, 11 pi plus 13 over 2 is that value there. That's what x is. So now we're here. So 11 phi is equal to x minus 13. X is that. Take away 13, it is then that value, and then divide that value. So I'm going to say phi is equal to 10.77 blah, 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 divided by 11. So phi is equal to 0.98 to 2 decimal places. We put a little c for radians. It doesn't matter if you don't write it there. You won't get penalised for it. Okay? And that is my answer. Okay? I hope that was useful. Good luck for the exam tomorrow.